The Chinese Premier Li Keqiang has met with leaders from Eastern and Central European countries in the Hungarian capital Budapest. While meeting with the Macedonian Prime Minister and the Serbian Prime Minister, the Chinese Premier called on their countries to actively participate in the construction of the China-Europe Land-Sea Express and also the Hungary-Serbia Railway. While meeting with the Slovenian Prime Minister, Miro, Premier Li said China is willing to import competitive agricultural goods from Slovenia and encouraged Chinese tourists to visit the country. In talks with the Prime Minister of Bosnia and Herzegovina, Li said China hopes it can promote cooperation between China and the Balkan region and strengthen cooperation in the fields of agriculture and manufacturing. Well, Premier Li called on the 16 Central and Eastern European countries to work towards advancing their cooperation with China even further. In a speech in Budapest, the Chinese Premier said the 16+1 mechanism was making great strides and was becoming more and more influential in regional development. He said he wished to see an expansion in trade and economic activity, for the two regions to be better connected both physically and logistically, and for more feasibility studies into the possibility of mutually funded industrial parks in the areas of energy, logistics and agriculture. Premier Li also announced the founding of the China CEEC Interbank Association and the second phase of the China CEEC Investment Corporation Fund. He added that the two sides would try to promote more cultural and people-to-people exchanges. Well, at the 16+1 meeting, the Chinese Premier further laid out a five-pronged plan to ramp up China-CEC ties. Li said China is willing to import more agricultural products from these countries as part of his proposal to expand economic and trade cooperation. As for major projects on connectivity, the Premier said China hopes to see more rail lines launched by the China Railway Express and more direct flights between China and Europe. He also said that China would like to set up a logistics centre in the CEE region. Premier Li also suggested that both sides work on industrial parks in production capacity, energy, logistics and agriculture. Li called for strong financial support for the 16+1 cooperation and more cultural and people-to-people exchanges. This includes cooperation in tourism to exchanges in areas of traditional Chinese medicine, sports and the protection of women and children.